luckily I get to follow Lucas. My speech is a little longer and has less pauses in it, and a more continued train of thought. So. Yeah, I'm not that good at serious stuff, so I'm going to try to make this, like a happy thing, all sad about this and everything. So, and it's kind of a long speech, so buckle up. I'm just going to thank various groups of people and maybe tell a story or two on the way. So, there we go. First group of people I want to thank, I don't think they're here tonight, but they're worth showing my gratitude. They care for the whole team, and mostly me in particular, in fact. Usually I've been known for a certain type of issue. Very sensitive to things thrown in my face. And, these people have always been there and always tended to my wounds. And of course I speak of the Rigetti lifeguard staff. I'm not sure how many bloody noses I acquired in my 4 years, but it had to be in big numbers, 50s or 60s at least. I lost track after that. But when they're up there in their lifeguard stand, and not always would they tend to the kid with blood spouting out of his nose as he rushed to the bathroom, but every now and then a guy would come by and he would help me out. And that made me feel special. So I gotta thank them for that. They're great people. They do their job very well. So thank you to the lifeguard staff at Rigetti. Okay, next off, I gotta thank my teammates, because they were there for me every step of the way. First off, I gotta just say, back when I didn't even know what water polo was, one person that actually introduced it to me was Jordan Tomoka, my best friend. We've been best friends forever. And, he was actually probably the sole reason I actually got involved with water polo. So I got to thank him for that. And then from there, just pretty much the reason that I stayed in water polo is just because how great the people were. The work was grueling. Everything was, super hard about it. And the one thing that made it all worth it was just having a good time and laughing it with your teammates. And it's just really awesome for them to always be around. And so one thing that surprised me was that my teammates really care about my health, and they're constantly checking in on my health. And I don't really know how a colonoscopy works, but I know it involves, and you're done eating, I hope. I know it involves some sort of object being inserted into the fundament, I guess. And one way or another, they check you for your health. And it's not very pleasant, but when it comes as a surprise, it's not so bad, I guess. And every now and then you'll hear a yelp from the Rigetti pool, and it's probably me. And it's just a friendly gesture of my teammates checking in on my health, because that's the kind of people we are. That's the extent to what they look out for one another. Sorry, I never returned the favor. Yeah, thank you. Seriously though, guys, you're the best. You made it so much fun all the way through. The fact that we ended up being CIF champs at the end was just like a bonus, because going through 4 years with you guys was, good enough as it is, so thank you guys. Moving on, page 2. And that wasn't even all of it, I'm concising a lot of it. True. Next I gotta thank these group of people. I like to call them like the batteries of our program, pretty much. They keep us going, and they are responsible for so much of the success in our program. Of course, I'm talking about the parents of Rigetti Water Polo. Please give them a hand, everybody. You know, you guys, each and every one of you, you know how much work you put into it. We don't even know how much work you put into it. I don't, and we don't thank you enough, to be honest. We kind of take a lot of it for granted, and you know, you guys are there every step of the way. You're moving us from point A to point B. You're, you know, standing, or you're withstanding all the, you know, bodily gases we excrete in the car. And it's really a great duty you do for our team. You supply, like, from food to water to transportation and just the overall, all the organization that goes into the program. You guys are responsible for pretty much all of it. You guys, you know, from, you know, even all the dreaded fundraisers that we do that we all hate. You guys, you get the money from the program, and you're pretty much responsible for all the success we have and all the tournaments we can go into. So, thank you. Another round of applause for the parents. Next off, I want to thank my coaches, because you know, they've been there. You know, I want to thank them in order of appearance, actually, from in my career. So first off, I guess technically my first ever water polo coach was Coach Bell, and he wasn't my coach very long, and you know, it was pretty much my very beginning stages, and he probably, you know, thankfully doesn't remember how awful I was in the beginning, but you know, I still remember stretching with all the guys before the pool, and you're like, what muscle is this? And I'm like, quadriceps. He's all, yeah. I'm good at this. You know, you just basically introduced me to egg beatering, passing, shooting. You said, you know, look where you want it to go, and the ball will go there. And I'm like, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. It didn't always happen, but sometimes it did, and I believed you. Next off, my next coach that I had was Chris Yee and Scott Turton, actually. They were the summer coaches that I had at first, and it was it's kind of interesting, the pairs of coaches that we have, because Chris and Scott Turton were very different. Chris was the nice one, the happy one that would, you know, be very cheerful. Scott was the one you were afraid to approach or ask anything about. But the truth is, they both helped so much, and they both really cared about you as a player. And Chris always found a way to make things fun, and he was always on your side. He'd always be cheering for you, and it was just a lot of fun being able to be coached by him. It was really a privilege. And you know, he puts so much time into the entire program, even, you know, past the Rigetti Water Polo program. You know, he even does like the girls stuff, and he'll be, before the JV practices, he'll be in with the varsity guys, working with them, and then he stays even longer to work with the JV guys and puts up with them. And, you know, he has a lot of patience, and that's something that's pretty big for a coach like him. So, you know, he does a lot of work, and I thank him for that. Yeah, clap for Coach Yee. My next coach was the counterpart of Scott Turton, Jason Turton. And there's always like a silence after you say his name, like people are on the edge of laughter or something, like something's coming. And something is usually coming. And no, no, he's a great coach, and he's really smart actually. Past, what he's famous for, his inspirational pep talks for a game. He's actually a really smart coach, and he sees little details that you might be doing, and he'll call you out on it, and he'll tell you, this is what you got to do, this is how you got to improve. And it's just really, it's really reassuring. It's kind of a confidence boost as a player when you have someone who's kind of watching you, making sure you are excelling, and that really means something. So thanks. And moving along to the next two most prevalent coaches in my high school career, I'd say. Definitely Coach Schaefer and Coach Knight. You guys, when my first impression of you guys, I thought it was going to be like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. But the further I got into it, like the roles would switch, and then it'd be bad cop, and then it'd be angry cop you don't want to screw up in front of. Good cop, bad cop, and it was just like you're so confused, you don't know who to please and who to watch out for. And yeah, so JV guys, good luck. Your way around that maze. Truthfully though, Coach Schaefer, he's obviously very direct, very blatant, very loud, but very effective too. His coaching, I'd say, it's very unique, but it's very effective. An example of just how unique his coaching style is this is an event that actually happened. It was kind of weird, but I still remember it very well. It was summer, I'm pretty sure it was summer, and I was on JV, and so we had just played a JV summer league game or whatever, and then Schaefer wanted to do some set work outside of the pool, in the field, away from the pool, and everything about it sounded really scary, but we had no choice. And so, we all walked down to the field, and Schaefer's there, and he's like, okay, I'm not going to do a Schaefer impression, but he said, okay, you guys have to get position on me. Like you're setting, you have to get position on me, you got to be aggressive. And so, we were all just standing there, still in our Speedos, by the way. We haven't gotten out of our Speedos. And there's a pretty, decent-sized group of us, and we're just surrounding a shirtless man who's weighed us off by at least 100 pounds, saying, "Come at me!" And I was not the first to go because I was just afraid. But eventually someone did go, and it was pretty, gruesome to watch the first victim go, but, he ended up getting out, somewhat alive, and it was like, the next person would go, and then I'm finally like, okay, I gotta get this over with. So I'm just like, here we go, and I just remember coming at Schaefer, and I'm just like, okay, here we go, let's do it. And so I start wrestling with him. I'm in my Speedo, and it's just so strange. I'm wrestling with him, and I just have this split second of self-reflection. And I'm looking around, it's like freeze frame, and it's just like, here I am, a scrawny little, white boy trying to appease this gorilla of a man. Totally got me, like, right where he wants me. And it's just like a scrawny white boy wrestling a very large male with shirtless male, sweaty, outweighs me by at least 100 pounds, with a group of young boys surrounding me in Speedos, in a field. And needless to say, this actually attracted quite a lot of attention. I started to see people line up, by the fence at the Rigetti pool. They're like, oh, what's going on? What's happening? And it was just a very strange moment. I just thought, what the hell am I doing? How did I get here? Jordan, why you get me into this mess? But thankfully, the moment passed, and I have since recovered. So yeah, thanks Schaefer for your unique coaching style. Next on, Coach Knight. He was the good cop / bad cop / cop you don't want to mess up in front of. Mainly that one. And he was a lot different in coaching style from Schaefer, and I noticed that early on. He was like the owl lurking in the shadows, talking to the prey, who he was going to find next. And I didn't want to be that guy. I tried to lay low, but Coach Knight, he's such a smart coach. Everything he does is so calculated, and it's very, it's just, his coaching style is just so precise, and that's something really unique to him. That's what makes him probably one of the best coaches in, this sport. I'd say the best coach I've ever had. He's just so smart, and he really cares about you as a player, and he knows how to tweak you into getting you to be the best player you can be in. It's although it might be scary at times, because he's just watching you. His sunglasses on, you can't see his eyes, so and you think, is he looking at me? He could be looking anywhere. I think one time at practice he even said, he's like, you guys got to do all this yourself. Okay, I'm not an iguana. I can't make one eye move that way and the other one that way. And I'm like,
it's a chameleon.
I'm pretty sure you can. It's impressive. But yeah, truthfully, you guys are the best coaches I've ever had. You pushed me to the absolute best I could be, and I can't thank you enough for that. So, thank you, Coach Knight, and Coach Schaefer, flame on. Round of applause. I also want to thank Tommy Grawl and Matt Johnson, who actually, I don't think they're here, but they're just another little element that we have that other teams don't really have, where we have just really awesome players who can just kind of give you that little edge and tiny little piece that can make you, the CIF champ team. So thanks for them. And they came, they spent a lot of time helping us with everything too. So thanks to them. I saved the biggest and best thank you for last, and of course it's for my parents, Mom and Dad. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. You've disciplined me. You made sure, especially Mom, that I was on time for practice. Even the ones where I would oversleep in my alarm by like 10 minutes. I'd still have time to get ready. Everything was fine. You'd come in and be like, "Why don't you get practice?" And I'm like, I know. And I'd fall back to sleep again and almost miss practice. Be like, "Miles, don't you have practice?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh my God." And I burst out the door. Always saving me. And Mom, from every peanut butter and jelly sandwich to a little note you give me in my lunch, or just every little thing that you do, I appreciate it so much, even though I don't always show my gratitude that much. I really do. I really am thankful for everything you do for me. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything. I can't thank you enough for everything you do. Round of applause for my mom and dad. So, just a big thank you overall from my teammates, to the lifeguard staff, to my coaches, to my extended coaches, to the teammates that came before me, to, my parents, and just all the parents that helped this program run so smoothly. It's amazing how privileged I am to be in the situation I'm in. So thank you, everyone, a lot.